ay basically about sa sarili ko. Self-documentary siya. Hindi ko iniisip yung views, hindi ko iniisip yung kahit anong pwedeng mangyari sa akin sa video. Ngayon, ang content na ginagawa ko ngayon ay self-motivation, self-documentary type of thing. Na-depressed ako, panic, anxiety. Nagpadala talaga ako. Which is something na hindi dapat gawin ng isang tao. Naisip ko, ngayon, i-document. Introduction lang to. See you in part 2.
Si Rikko kasi, sinabihan ko na i-interview ko siya. Paano ba yung part 1?
Napanood ko.
Hindi pa. Wala pa nga akong pang ako nakakapanood eh.
Interviewin ko si Rikko, tsaka ikaw, in one video call.
Pa-interview tayo.
Nasa Richmond ka ngayon, speak freely lang kahit Taglish ko or something.
Right.
Opinion-based lang siya. Okay, so based to sa parang self-documentary na ginagawa ko. And just give your own opinion kasi opinion-based lang naman siya. Give your own opinion lang regarding sa mental health or mental health issues or problems. Okay?
I'm a college student. My course is interior design.
Right now, nagtatrabaho ako bilang isang clinic assistant sa traumatic brain injury na clinic. I would say mental health in general is just you and your mind plus with your personality and your mindset just being healthy, just being, okay. Because you can always have someone who has this, number of conditions present, like mental health conditions, mental health disorders present, but their mindset is still okay. Their mentals are still okay. Right? So that's mental health in general. Your mental health, really, of, do you feel okay? What you feel would be a threat to your own personal mental health. Because when people talk about mental health, ang dami sa kanila na kunwari nag-assume na it's always a bad thing to talk about.
Yeah.
But in truth, it's something that we need to talk about for people who actually have conditions na, they don't have a safe space to speak freely, lalo na like kunwari sa family nila kasi pumapasok talaga yung support eh. Like social support is very important for those who have conditions. I mean, it's important to everybody, but it's more, more important and in line with recovery for those who actually have a disorder because dun mo mafe-feel that, you're not alone in the journey. Not to get better in hopes to, for the condition to go away, but, to get better in hopes that you'll be able to cope with or without, the condition being currently affecting your life.
Hindi sinasabi ko sa sarili ko minsan na kaya ko bang i-open up to sa family members ko kahit na hindi nila ako kaya intindihan. Pero for the sake of myself na lang siguro, kailangan ko siyang i-open up kasi baka hindi ko siya kayang i-handle na ako lang.
May mga points ang isang tao na nararamdaman niya na parang walang control. Like everything is external.
Even if you are just in the emotional state of depression lang.
Right.
The main objective mo dito is support system. Support system lang talaga yung kailangan mo talaga. May mga tao na ayaw mag-open up.
With depression particularly, it's very complicated. Like the spectrum of emotions that one person feels when they're diagnosed with depression is complicated. It's very complicated because you can have one person experiencing for example, bipolar can be an adjunct to having depression as well. It can span from like other days they're very ecstatic, they're very happy. Other days they're sad. It's like they just want to curl up and stay inside, isolate from the entire world, right? Depressiveness or sadness can really affect, your body's willingness to even actually function. So that can be one cause. Na parang yung sadness na na-experience nila in their head takes out all of the strength from their body or even their mind to think. In the mind and in the body, hindi sila makakapag-open up because it takes a lot of strength to open up especially to your family that, I'm experiencing this. I think I need to be tested. It is something as, mental health disorders. Dito nga sa US, like there are laws already passed. There are already support groups. There are already online help groups. Sometimes you really need expertise. You need other people to talk to in order for them to get help.
Yeah.
right? The family doesn't need to be afraid to talk about it. That's the hardest bump to go over as a family and as a whole when you have someone going through these mental disorders is really denial.
Want to show a happy face pero deep inside, malungkot ka talaga, especially kung mag-isa ka na lang. Why do you think is that na ginagawa nila yon?
Sometimes in my experience with like you know people who I have dealt with in the past and also in the present who had this type of condition, it's very minsan passive siya. Passive in a way that they
Eh,
don't have control over them wanting to do that. It's just their mind telling them that
ay,
this is what will satisfy your need right now.
agree ako na.
Minsan also it's active because elementary years, they're afraid to get bullied. Wala silang alam na kunwari mental disorder because they're still young. There are a lot of adults that they accuse their kids of just tantrums, right? They just think it's tantrums. They just think that they're just acting out. But likewise, as I said, that we're very exposed to a lot of resources that can help us identify if actually our kid is only having a tantrum or is actually experiencing a mental disorder, right? Another reason na kung bakit nila ginagawa, they just don't know how to speak up, really. It's kung sa family nga hindi nila magawa. It really starts with the family. I mean, whether the patient likes it or not, I would say the family is the most important aspect.
Doon nag-i-start lahat eh, basically.
Right. Pag umalis na yung mga kaibigan mo, pag umalis
Wala
na yung ganito,
na.
pag umalis na si ganyan, who's left? Diba? You're
Family
stuck with your
lang.
family, whether you like it or not. They're always gonna be there for you.
Have you been depressed yourself? If you want to share, go ahead, share. If you don't want, just tell me. What was the reason? If you want to share, just share. Go ahead. If you don't want, go ahead. Yeah.
There was a time when I wouldn't say I have a worst one, losing a loved one.
Yeah, yung worst
Losing a
feeling
loved
talaga.
one in terms of death, or losing a loved one in terms of like the time na pumunta ako dito tapos nag-decide ako magstay tapos sila mami bumalik sa Palau, so that was a time of certainly a time that I felt
You felt worse.
extreme sadness. Another one is like nung namatay si Lolo sa father's side because I was very close with him na tapos nandun pa rin ako sa mga last days niya na parang
Yeah.
ako pa nag-aalaga ganun, so it just pains me as because I was very young then. I was like 14 back then. Parang it's hard for me to accept na I did everything in my power to sort of help him feel better or make him at least get well, but it didn't work. Tapos doon pumapasok tayo, parang sinisisi ko yung si Diyos or sinisisi ko yung mundo kung bakit kailangan nila kunin yung isang tao na ganito na napakamahal ko, di ba?
Talaga ba? Parang dumating yung point na...
Dumating talaga yung ganun. Like, especially with, I mean, there are some decisions na parang, why did I choose this? Why didn't I just do that? It leads to that certain type of sadness that you can't automatically go to sleep. And you know me, di ba? Ang bilis ko matulog. Isang bigit lang tulog na. Kausap mo pa ako. Tulog na ako.
Kumihilig ka na mamaya-maya.
Gumagano.
Kumihilig ka na mamaya-maya.
Di ba? You knowing that na
Yeah,
parang
I
pag
know
may iniisip ako, hindi talaga ako makakatulog. So those are those type of stuff na
Yeah,
parang,
alam ko.
yeah, and then ang pinaka recent like kay Lola nung namatay, extreme sadness for ilang days. Kasi wala ring opportunity na umuwi. Biglaan nangyari lahat. Kasi her timeline, like her life timeline, if she was gonna recover ever, was very unclear. Basta super up and down yung disease
Yan
ni...
yung umuwi si daddy mo.
Yeah, umuwi si daddy,
Yeah.
diba? Like,
Nakita ko siya
damn,
na.
2,000 plus ata na ticket nun na para lang makauwi.
Para lang
So
makauwi
it's-
agad-agad dito.
Yeah, willing akong gumastos ng ganun na pera para umuwi. Pero sinabi rin nila mami na wag na kasi sayang lang. Kasi it was very unsure. One month we were scheduled to go there and then biglang nasa hospital na siya, and then there's another month that we were scheduled to come back. Tapos biglang wala na, namatay na siya. So,
Very sudden nga naman kasi yung...
right?
Actually, hindi na
It's
yun
super sudden. Ang lungkot din kasi ako yung parang sabihin nating huling apo na nakasama niya ng matagalan. Yung nag-break kami ng late
Yeah.
girlfriend ko nung
the
nung
past-
college. That
the
was
past one.
Yeah, because that was like 3 years of
Oh,
like,
yeah.
love and relationship, and then it just
Oh, grabe.
fell. Like at the start of internship, I didn't hold up in the relationship quite well because, I had a lot of issues with myself. She had a lot of issues with herself. We had a lot of issues together with other people as well. So it just didn't work out. It just sucks to like have that certain instance of, you and yourself, even without your partner, know that this relationship is going to end. This
Yeah.
relationship has an endpoint. When you promise to each other that it wasn't supposed to have an endpoint. Well, how would have I met Belle? I would say like she was like the best trade off.
To all the people who has mental health problems, what advice can you give them?
My advice is to, try and develop the courage to talk about it. I would say that has been the largest theme that we've had throughout this talk, is that you really need people around you to talk about your disorder. If you're not comfortable with talking about it with your family, then seek refuge with your friends. Seek refuge with your church even. These other avenues of support really eliminate discrimination, because I would say there would be even higher discrimination amongst family members about mental health disorders and these type of stuff, rather than you trying to talk about it with a stranger. Really, the opinion that I give, is really just to find the courage to talk about whatever is going on with you, to seek help from a licensed professional. Yes, you would say you have depression, but you wouldn't know how severe it is. In truth, they don't, and it's just something that they thought that they have. So seek help and seek communication with others. That would be my biggest advice that I would give.
Mental health or mental health problems or issues, ano yung first thing na pumapasok sa mind mo?
Depression, and then panic attack, anxiety attack. Kilala kong merong ganun. Parang diagnose sila sa depression, and then may iba bipolar. I have to be careful kasi paminsan nagtitrigger yung nila, yung pagka-bipolar nila.
Ano yung nakikita mo sa kanila?
Pag depression, yung mga kilala ko is they're very cheerful. Masaya sila pag may nag-a-attention sa kanila. Tapos, kunyari sobrang stress na sila and stuff like that, pero hindi na sila hindi na sila happy, tapos parang medyo gloomy na sila, basta hindi sila nagsasalita. Pag stress na sila or nagkakaroon na sila ng anxiety or something, parang lalayo na sila, parang loner na sila agad, parang gano'n. Siguro one is nahihiya sila. Yung most of the time sinasabi nila, maarte lang yan, depression, pero hindi naman totoo yan. Hindi naman totoo yan kunya-kunyari lang yan kasi may exam. But in real life, they really have depression. Depressed sila, so kailangan mong intindihin, pero hindi sila aware sa mga ganun. May mga ganun talaga. They're good at hiding. Kasi at first talaga, hindi ko talaga alam na may depression yung tao na yun. Parang nakikilala ko na siya, we became close. Parang sabi ko, bakit nag-iba ka? Parang nag-iiba yung attitude mo paminsan, ganyan.
Sabi nila, yung mga tao na lagi nagpapakita ng happy side nila, usually, sila daw yung may mental health problems or issues. Do you believe ba na may ganun?
Actually, oo, kasi, pero siya, he stopped kasi I think nag-aano siya dito he was physically harming himself. Tapos, nakita ata siya ng parents niya, and then, bigla niyang na-realize na, bakit ko ito ginagawa? Open up din siya sa akin about that. Parang, alam naman lahat ng mga friends ko yung story. Sinabi naman niya, he's very open. I think nag-open up din siya about it. Sabi ko, ba't ka nag-cut? Ba't mo kinat yung sarili mo? Bakit ka nag-physically harm? And then, he said na paminsan, you can't think right. Parang kinakain ka daw ng mind mo or something. So, best way to do it is to feel something. So, yung feeling niya is to cut himself.
Tingin ko, one of the reasons kung bakit, mag-share lang ako. Kasi for me, one of the reasons kasi kung bakit tingin ko ginagawa nila yun is for them to actually feel pain ata. Kasi there are times na kinakat niya sarili niya, tama? Nagkakat siya, self-harming. Especially in his case na clinically diagnosed pa siya. May times daw na talagang feeling mo numb ka, talagang manhid ka na sa lahat ng emotions. Kaya nila gustong ginagawa yun. Makaramdam sila ng pain kasi parang feeling nila deep inside wala, parang dead na sila, parang gano'n. Itong question na 'to, you can share if you want, pero if you don't want, just tell me, okay? Na-experience mo na ba ang ma-depressed or extreme sadness lang? Talagang mamroblema ka, ma-depress ka, or malungkot, emotional state of depression? And if yes, ano yung reason kung bakit?
Ah,
Okay lang kung ayaw mo, pero if you want, better yun, 'di ba? Oh, go.
yes, I think.
Hmm.
Siguro merong times na I cry all the time. Tapos paminsan wala akong ganang kumain. And then ayoko pakita sa parents ko kasi nga cheerful. Tapos yung mga kapatid ko, I don't want them to know. So parang I'll just keep it inside. Tapos ibubuhos ko na lang mamaya. Later night, ganito ganyan.
Tsaka ikaw pa yung eldest sister sa inyo, 'di ba?
Yeah, so I have to be parang hindi ko role model. Ikaw yung role model. Huwag kang huwag matitrigger. Ganyan. So, pag ako, ang mainly yung part ng pag umiiyak ako is usually the eldest siguro. Kasi nga, alam mo yun, ang dami kong pinagagawa sa buhay ko na regret ko. And then, paminsan, naisip ko lang yun every night. Parang, oh my gosh, ba't yun yung ginawa ko? Parang ganito ganyan. Tapos makikita yun ng sisters ko. So, alam mo yun, parang inisip ko, dapat hindi ako yung panganay kasi hindi ako yung right na panganay.
Anong advice ang mabibigay mo sa mga may mental health problems?
Always listen. If may mga friends sila na ganun din, always listen to them kasi listening will help them. It's a big part. Yung pag magli-listen ka lang, give them advice. It's a big part na to save them.
Okay, that's it. Shoutout mo lahat ng gusto mo i-shoutout. Ililink ko rin lahat.
Follow me on Instagram, nina.rito. So I have also a YouTube channel. You can also subscribe me and also watch my videos. I do hair tutorials, makeup tutorials, anything about hair. I'm there. Yes.
Shout out to myself, my YouTube channel. You guys can follow me on Twitch as well, twitch.tv/AVO_021. So go ahead and check that out. Facebook.com/AvroDomingo21 is my gaming page. And, follow my cousin, all of my other cousins' YouTube channels. ThannyHere BusTube as well on YouTube for my uncle. Has been doing great with his content. So if you're a Star Wars fan, definitely go ahead and check him out.
Okay, thank you, Nina. Thank you.
Sige.
Okay, here guys.
All right. Bye-bye. All right. Kadalasan, like, relating to your case, nagkakaroon din sila ng mga mental health issues.
Absent seizures. May patients ka ba na naka-experience na?
Yeah, ang inaral ko dati, pati yung na-experience ko is like there are two types, like yung mga grand mal and petit mal. Petit mal, or yung sabi ng petit mal, is more of like, mga blank stares nga nangyayari. That's why I associate na parang pwede din na nagkakaroon ng anxiety from it.
Yun daw yung diagnosis ko. Isang big factor kung bakit ako talaga nagkaroon ng mental health problem.